Okay, I think I have it controlled, but we don't have much time. We need to fix the tear, remove the clamps, and restore blood flow to the spinal column. Holy hell.
One of the things that attracted me to the show was that they were interested in the medicine, and we find a balance between the drama and actually learning about a particular type of procedure.
And push!
We talk a lot about picking the medical story thematically. If you're working on a medical show, you're always just drawn to anything that's in the news.
Is that a bullet?
Yeah.
Sometimes our stories are, ripped from the headlines. Other times we have surgeons, ER docs who come in and tell us things that touch them or things that freak them out. Surgeons are pretty unflappable. When you do hear a story about something that really shakes them, those are the things we hold on to. And one of those anecdotes can blossom into a really wonderful story.
We have a team of consultants in every kind of field, neuro, cardiac. We pick their brains whenever they're in. Bryce Taylor, who is the chief of surgery for many years, is like a wealth of knowledge.
Well, would they notice the abscess in the imaging?
Oh,
if they only did, they would.
I spent my whole life in surgery trying to avoid problems. On the other hand, the writers are looking for what could possibly go wrong. What risk can we take?
I really enjoyed the doctor element of the show because we're actually learning stuff from real doctors. I find that the most gratifying. Let's go, guys. Come on.
We have one consultant who's here all the time. His name's Josh, and he's really been able to marry the idea of the real medicine with what we have to do for dramatic purposes.
Well, I can time it out by just cutting and cutting and cutting until the line says.
Very often it's helping them understand the medicine underlying the scene that we're shooting so that they can understand the motivation for the lines the character's saying, or to get a sense of the jeopardy that may be involved.
Somebody please tell me what's happening!
Mr. Stewart has bleeding on the brain. He's gonna need surgery right now. Get her out of here.
We have very meticulous early blocking for the entire surgery at the beginning of the day. Even though it's broken up into scenes, we have a picture of how it's gonna go.
And action.
We often spring a lot of complicated terminology and strange tools they've never held before. I'm very impressed with them.
Clamp, please. There's always specific things that I'm doing and asking for, so I ad-lib a little bit sometimes in the scene and just kind of yell for certain things that I know that I'm gonna need.
Sponges, keep them coming, please.
I'm learning how to say a lot of new things.
I'm not getting a radial or ulnar pulse here.
Radial or ulnar pulse. Or ulnar pulse. Thank you for the opportunity to observe your cholecystectomy. Cholecystectomy?
Next, I'll be tying off the cystic artery, then mobilizing the gallbladder off the bed.
We have a general surgeon in the making.
Erica's such a pro. Rolls off the tip of her tongue. So I'm really looking forward to that. becoming a part of my everyday existence as well.
When I started on the show, all of the medical jargon was a trick. One of the phrases that got me in the first year was,
It's the pathognomonic symptom for carcinoid syndrome.
I couldn't say it and I couldn't say it. And the irony is I was working with this young kid and he said it. And he kept looking at me like, what is your problem? Why can't you say this?
Trigeminal neuralgia.
I'm sorry?
It's what you have. I don't even know if I got a clean take of it. It's trigeminal neuralgia. So it's right here.
It is a madhouse in here. A madhouse! I really am very impressed by the fact that the actors can show the intensity and emotion that is real.
She's got to have internal bleeding. We'll need to get her into the OR now.
They seem to marvel at the medical aspects. I guess the same way I marvel at what they're doing. They want to make it look real.
That is one gorgeous heart. I do honestly feel sometimes like I know what I'm talking about. And then, for example, I talked to my nephew who just graduated from med school, and he's like, you know you're not a real doctor, right? And I'm like, yes, I know that, but I do know more than you think.
I'm good at faking the suturing. I don't think anybody should ever volunteer to be sewn up by me. But yeah, there's certain things that you kind of figure out.
Erica has had a lot of experience in suturing over the last 4 years, and so she's going to be able to show you.
Liver suture and keep them coming.
When you put the needle into tissue, you're putting it in a curved way, and therefore you have to take it out in the curve of the needle.
You're almost there.
And then place the knot. You can do neat things like you can tie with both hands. You can do, for instance, one tie with that one and the other tie with that one.
Right. Now
Place
this
the
is where
suture.
things fall apart for me.
Listen up, would you? The students have to listen. Okay, you can
There's
do
a
it
reason
that way.
I'm acting and
or
not in
Yep.
medicine. Okay, here goes.
Yeah, that's right.
Feed it through. There! Done.
Good job.
We have prosthetics that we work with and a great team that actually give us things that look exactly like what it would look like. The doctors come in and go, oh my goodness, this is actually what a tumor would look like.
Wow, it is huge.
That is twice the normal size.
I always feel like I'm learning a little bit of something every week.
We have 7 days to prep an episode. Chris and his team often don't know what they're building until our medical meeting, which is on the first day of prep. Our prosthetics team is phenomenal.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Let's see what you can do.
My first day in the OR, I walk in and the body that we have is so realistic. It's all silicone, but you touch it and the skin, it's just like real skin. And you're like checking the face to make sure that it's not a real body. You cut into it and it's layered and you just see truly what's inside of us.
All the organs and all the pieces are sculpted and molded. We build them specific to the needs of the show, so in one particular episode they need to be able to cut them open and see certain things. We'll cater to that. We do analyze what is necessary for each episode and try to make it as medically accurate as possible.
Got it.
You did it.
It's tremendously realistic. Sometimes you really can't tell the difference.
Heart surgery is always a challenge. You have to make the heart beat, you have to match the rhythm, and it has to be in a very particular way. Usually we're doing it manually.
This year we have an ear surgery, and there's this technique where you're basically grown a new ear in your wrist.
Oh, this will make a beautiful helix.
I rebuild the outside of the ear. You implant it under the skin of their arm, and then you cut it off.
We're building a fake ear, a patch where it goes in the wrist. They're building the loss of an ear, and it's so impressive.
That is so cool! Oh my God.
I told you. Teratoma episode. Just watch it and be horrified.
Ready for the moment of truth?
We got to cut it open. It was like a soup that came out. And so it has teeth, an eye, hair.
It's a brunette.
It was like prosthetic magic.
The two people who were stuck together in the sealant foam.
Guys, something cut. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Patrick actually bought 2 Barbies and stuck them together using insulation foam just to prove that it would work and what it would look like.
Bring the stretcher in here right now.
Doctors, they're so focused on just healing, which is extraordinary because the drama of that and the high stakes of that as a real human being are terrifying, but they're so good at keeping it together.
Everything okay?
No.
We try and bring that to the OR because it ups the stakes.
Cal, I am not gonna let you freaking die.
Our best, we give it everything we got, and even still some people die. That's just the way this works.
The stories, the characters are believable. Once people start identifying with people, that makes it successful.
It's crazy as an actor being here and being in the OR and then thinking that people actually do this for real. It's very overwhelming.
Let's go!
Thank God for real surgeons.
At the end of the day,
It's about saving lives.